Hi, everyone. So, I practiced what I used to teach and what I still teach, I guess. I took some time for me. I did some self-care, changed my clothes, touched up my makeup because I like feeling good about myself and I like wearing something pretty and that resets my mood. And, I was very, very upset on my first video and I still am very upset. But I've also learned over the last 5 years that I get two choices when I feel that way. I channel it into something positive and good, or I let it continue to stay inside of me and make me feel a way that I don't ever want to feel again. And I re-listened to my video and I want to correct something because I was very emotional and I found that I repeated something that people have often said to me, which, to be honest with you, I'm not sure that I really believe. And that's that traumatized people are chaotic. I don't think that it's intentional chaos. I know it never was with me. All I ever wanted growing up, even as a young adult, even as an adult now, was for people to treat me the way that I treated them, which was with kindness. I could never understand why, because I had the last name of Roach, it was okay to hand me a can of Raid when I was 9 or 10. I could never understand why people could say mean, horrible, hurtful things to me. And when I finally would react, now I was the one that was bad because um, I had a reaction that was not normal. But that is trauma. That is a trauma response. And it took me until I was hospitalized 3 different times to finally get it. I mean, 6 hours a day of therapy, 5 days a week for weeks. And I don't say that with any shame or embarrassment. I'm proud of the fact that I had to take the steps to figure out who I was so that I could wake up, so that I could be me again. But guess what? That's why this whole thing about the idea of institutionalizing people upset me so much. What would that have done if that was the attitude that people had taken when I was at my worst? All it would have done was reaffirm what was already inside of me, that I wasn't valid, that I wasn't worthy, that I was a throwaway, that my voice didn't matter, that I didn't matter, that I really didn't have a point in existing. Those were things that went through my head all the time. And it took knowledge and it took getting help and having people be compassionate and kind to give me the courage to be compassionate and kind to myself. And as soon as I was, my whole life changed in infinite ways. So the idea that we can use this blanket statement on a government sanctioned page that basically declares that anybody who is unhoused is somehow unworthy. Oh my God, it makes me sick. And I want to show you guys something because anybody that's seen any of my videos knows I'm Dory. I have short-term memory loss, again, part of my condition, and I've learned to live with it. And luckily, I have a partner who is insanely supportive and helps me with remembering things, right? Sticky notes around cabinets, and yeah, it's a good thing. But for a woman who forgets all the time, I'm gonna try and flip this camera in a second because I want to show you some pictures. Because in all the years that I have been on this journey and in all the years that I've been working on waking back up and finding out what my own personal truth was, I've never forgotten these people and I want to share them with you. When I was in New Orleans many years ago, I had the pleasure, the honor of sitting with some of our unhoused individuals who I had wonderful conversations with, amazing conversations with. One guy, I'll show you his picture here in a sec. We talked about Khalil Gibran and the Bible and politics and sat on a street corner for 3 hours in the New Orleans heat. And he was one of the coolest, most intelligent men I'd ever met. So for a woman who forgets everything, I haven't forgotten these folks. So bear with me. I don't know how to turn this camera. I'm going to give it a shot. Hold on one sec. Okay, here we go. This guy right here. I'm going to try and pull these up while I talk to you. And I apologize for the glare. There we go. Marine vet um, couldn't get medical help, and so he just eventually, with the bills and the treatments and the things that he needed, found himself here. Didn't say a word about drugs or being a violent criminal. Just a man who had served his country who couldn't get the same kind of service back and found himself in a situation that he didn't want to be in. This woman here, oh, she is one of my favorites. And I'm going to read you her little biography that I'd written about her. Meet Angela. She's a 50-year-old mother of five, ranging from ages 26 to 12. She suffers from MS and currently uses a cane to get around. Her current one, a shiny blue with flecks of silver in it, is her sixth in the past year. She sleeps at night huddling down in a corner with a tattered blanket for warmth, and people steal them. Her current outfit is the last one she has, as someone stole her bag of clothing along with her former cane. She is on her second round of being homeless. Her first round was after Katrina, when she lost her home. She slept under a bridge with her 3-month-old and a 3-year-old, desperate to keep them safe. Eventually, she released custody of her ex-husband, who, although was abusive, seemed to be good with his kids. The second time was 18 months ago. She was hit by a car crossing the street and spent a year in the hospital recovering from injuries and another year in nursing rehab. She told me in spite of being with people old enough to be her parents, she cried when she was made to leave. She got 3 meals a day there, her medications for her disease, and she felt safe. When asked what she wanted people who read this to know, she said, "I'm a human just like you. I've worked for over 20 years for the city. I never imagined one day my life would be this. Sometimes I sit out here and I cry when the 300th person has walked by and not seen me. I don't want to be homeless. I don't want to be away from my kids. And I don't want to worry every night if I'm going to get raped again. I'm too young for a nursing home and I can't work because of the MS. And even though there are shelters, sometimes they're just so full you can't get in. I just want people to know that I do matter and that I exist. That would mean a lot to me." This woman has a smile on her face because she told me I was the 150th person who had passed by her that day and I was the only one who had said hello. That's a woman who, according to our government right now, should be institutionalized for the sheer audacity of having had life hand her really difficult circumstances. And she's beautiful. She's just such a beautiful, beautiful human being. This guy, George Anthony, 70-year-old former merchant marine, first person I met on my second day in New Orleans. He asked if I would sit and speak with him for a bit. He apologized as he removed his sandals to reveal that his feet were swollen with edema. He needed to get his water pills and was waiting for his disability check. Anthony is captivating. He is articulate and passionate and quotes scriptures as well as any preacher I've ever met. He has been on the streets for many years. As he told me, I get $7.50 a month. I can't afford rent and food and utilities and medications on that. It's easier to find a bed than to worry about whether or not I can eat. I'm 70 years old and I don't hurt anyone. If I see another homeless person who is hungry, I share my food. If they are thirsty, I offer a drink. I never imagined I would sleep in alleys, but I'm doing all right. What I wish is that most people would see that not all of us are drunks or drug addicts. And I will again refer to the fact that the official government page said that 2/3 of the individuals who have been seen as or declared unhoused have also self-declared that they are drug users or violent criminals. If I see it, let's see here. It's insulting when people hand me beers, assuming that's why I'm here. It hurts to have assumption made of my character and have people cross the street just to avoid seeing me. We had a deep philosophical conversation on God and kindness and what it means to live the way that Christ would want us to. He told me a few things that stuck out that I promised to share. The first, if you only go to church to testify about your deeds, then stop. To live as Christ wanted us, our lives should be living testimonies. Actions are the proof. You don't have to tell it, just live it, because that is what we are called to do. The equally powerful, Jesus does not reside in the body, but in the heart. What we speak is what comes to fruition, so speak with love and kindness. This, folks, by the way, is a man who lives on the streets, a man that our government is saying should be institutionalized for that. And yet those two quotes are more eloquent than anything that has come out of another individual's mouth in the last 7 months. He ended our conversation with this. It is a quote from Khalil Gibran. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They came through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, they belong not to you. That's another individual that apparently should be locked away. And I'm going to share one more with you because I feel that it's important to share these stories. This gentleman, I might have his story written on another photo I'm going to check, but Um, that is one of the most powerful pictures I think I've ever taken. And he asked me to take it. This was not me taking a photo for drama. He wanted me to show the raw image of what he was feeling in that moment as he spoke about his mother and how her death and how all of the bills and the things that he could not take care of because he had a disability and his mother had taken care of him and she was all he had. And so when he lost her, he literally lost everything. And he honored me with allowing me to take these pictures. And real quick, before I close this up, how we met this little guy right here. Um, he was clearly overheated, exhausted, sweating, panting. And so I stopped this gentleman and I asked him if I could please get some water for his dog and buy him something to eat. And that led to us just sitting on a street corner and talking for an hour. And, you know, he was not what our world thinks of as successful as far as the narrative that we have today. Yet to me, he was beautiful because every single day, if not for himself, he kept going for this beautiful little puppy of his. And I don't know, something special about that. So I think I'm going to do this again. I think I'll come back on and maybe share some more of their stories because there's some really powerful ones here. And, you know, when anybody, if I don't know who's watching, if anyone is or not, but if you, I'm gonna turn the camera real quick because I want you to see my face when I say this part. If you support the things that are happening in today's world, I ask you to ask yourself why. The people that I just showed you, it's three out of hundreds of thousands who have stories that are just as touching and heartbreaking and inspiring as theirs. And the immigrants that you look down on, that you say came here illegally and did this and did that, their mothers, their fathers, their sons and daughters, their grandkids, their aunts and uncles, tías y tíos, tienen valor. They have valor. They have value. And so I just want to encourage anybody to really look inside your heart and ask yourself why you're okay with this. I've never been a threat to anybody. If anything, I go out of my way to be kind. And yes, I wear one of the labels that the administration doesn't like, but there we go. My wireless sucks. It doesn't make me any less worth knowing. I'm going to keep doing what I used to teach and what I still do. I'm going to keep taking care of the things that I can control. And that's my attitude, my actions, my words. And I'm going to keep pushing through. And I hope that anybody that watches this, anybody who may need to hear this, that you hear me when I say you have so much value and you have so much worth and your past does not have to define you. I was very, very upset in my first video. That's why I wanted to tape another one because I always go back to being me and the me I am today I love. And I hope that if you don't feel it right now, that someday you will because you deserve to feel it too. Bye, guys. Have a good one.